The Sloth's Way. You're swimming too hard. Learn the Taoist art of slow progress. You're swimming too hard. And the harder you swim, the more the river pulls you under. This is the silent tragedy of our time. We're taught that progress comes from force, from grinding, pushing, accelerating at any cost. But the truth is older, stranger, wiser. We chase growth with frantic effort, but growth avoids those who chase it. It slips away from the clenched mind, the rushed breath, the life lived in permanent tension. So let me ask you, what if slowing down isn't laziness, but wisdom? What if the pace you fear is the pace you actually need? Today, we follow the Sloth's Way, a path shaped by ancient Taoist flow, quiet discipline, and the gentle power of moving with the river instead of against it. Breathe, set your burden down, and let's begin. Chapter 1. The Sloth Who Fought the River. In a quiet emerald canopy where time itself seemed to slow down, lived a young sloth named Elias. Most sloths drift through life with natural grace, not because they're fast, because they never waste energy fighting the world. But Elias was different. He carried a storm in his chest, a restless feeling that he should be further along, wiser, stronger, more accomplished. He wasn't content with slow. He wanted more now. While others moved with calm intention, Elias moved with quiet desperation. He wanted growth now, change now, clarity now. So one morning, frustrated by his lack of progress, he did what no sloth had done in generations. He climbed down from his tree, walked to the edge of the river, and made a silent vow. If life wouldn't move faster, then he would. He threw himself into the water, paddling with all the frantic effort his small limbs could summon. The forest watched in disbelief. A sloth trying to outswim a river. But the river did what rivers do. It resisted the one who resisted it. The harder Elias fought, the more the current tangled around him. The more he struggled for control, the less control he had. His breath grew thin, his heart pounded. A creature born for slowness was drowning in his own urgency. Then, through the rush of water, he heard a voice, soft, steady, unshaken. Little one, you are not sinking because you are weak. You are sinking because you fight. Elias looked up. On a mossy stone sat an ancient sloth, still as a fallen leaf, yet radiating a presence deeper than the river itself. The river sage. The sage spoke. The river is not your enemy. Your effort is. Elias blinked, confused. How could trying harder make things worse? The sage leaned closer and offered one final sentence. A sentence that would change everything. If you want to move forward, you must learn the art of moving without forcing. Elias clung to a drifting branch. His breath returned. His mind opened. And this was the real beginning. The first step toward a lesson the Taoists call Wu Wei, effortless action. The ancient secret that explains why you're swimming too hard and why slowing down might be the only way to truly move forward. Let's go deeper.
Chapter 2. The Taoist Principle of Wu Wei, effortless action. Elias floated downstream, carried gently by the river, not because he forced it, but because he finally stopped trying to overpower it. And this is where the old sage began to teach him, and us, one of the most misunderstood principles in all of Taoist philosophy, Wu Wei. Often translated as non-action, yet nothing could be further from the truth. Wu Wei is not laziness, it is not passivity, it is not doing nothing. It's something far more powerful. Action without force, movement without resistance, doing only what needs to be done, and no more than the moment allows. It's the art of aligning with reality instead of struggling against it. Picture two swimmers. One thrashes wildly, believing more effort means more progress. His body tightens. His breathing turns frantic. He burns out, fighting a current stronger than him. The other relaxes. He floats, observes, waits, and then moves with small, deliberate actions. One struggles. One flows. One tries to dominate the water. The other collaborates with it. and the river rewards the second swimmer. Why? Because he understands a truth most never learn. Nature supports the calm, not the frantic. The world opens to those who stop resisting it. This is the essence of Wu Wei. In your work, in your relationships, in your growth, in your pursuit of mastery, the harder you push, the more life pushes back. But when you soften, when you move in the direction the moment is already flowing, your actions gain a quiet power, a power greater than brute force. Elias listened, his fur still wet, his heart still humbled. And for the first time, he realized that everything he wanted, clarity, progress, strength, would not come from swimming harder, but from swimming wiser. But the sage wasn't finished. He told Elias that Wu Wei was only the beginning. To truly flow with life, a sloth must understand something deeper. A law that shapes every moment. A truth that explains why rushing ruins progress, and why stillness eventually outruns speed. The Taoist law that governs all change. And Elias is about to learn it. Let's continue. Chapter 3. The Neuroscience of Over-Effort. Why fighting the river makes you sink. As Elias rested on the riverbank, the river sage shared something that sounded surprisingly modern. An ancient truth the forest had always known, but humans are only beginning to rediscover. You don't struggle because you lack strength. You struggle because your mind believes everything is a threat. And this is where Taoism meets neuroscience. When you try to force progress through pressure and fear, your brain shifts into survival mode. Your amygdala, the alarm center, floods your body with stress signals. Your breath shortens, your muscles tighten, your thoughts race. You swim harder, not because it helps, but because your brain thinks the river is out to drown you. And here's the paradox. The more stressed you are, the less capable you become. Stress disables your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for clarity, creativity, strategy, decision-making, long-term thinking. In other words, very part of you needed for real progress goes offline the moment you start pushing it. This is why, the harder you try to think, the foggier your mind becomes. The more you panic about time, the slower everything feels. The more desperate your effort, the worse your results. You weren't designed to fight every current. You were designed to flow. And when you relax, something powerful happens. Your nervous system shifts from fight or flight into rest and flow. Your breath deepens, your muscles loosen, your awareness expands. Your prefrontal cortex comes back online, bringing insight, patience, direction. You become like the calm swimmer, moving further with less energy, making fewer mistakes, and working with the river, not against it. This is the neuroscience of Wu Wei, not mystical escape, not inaction, but biological truth. A relaxed mind is a more powerful mind. A calm body is a more effective body. A slow approach creates faster progress. Elias listened, his fur still wet, his heart still humbled. And for the first time, he realized that everything he wanted, clarity, progress, strength, would not come from swimming harder, but from swimming wiser. And that realization opened the path to the next lesson, the lesson the sage said every creature must learn before they can truly move with the Tao. A lesson about reality itself, how the world flows, and why resisting it leads to suffering. Elias isn't ready, but he's about to learn it anyway.
The transformation. When Elias finally stopped fighting life, Elias watched the river glide beneath the fading light, its surface calm, its rhythm steady. But for the first time, he wasn't wishing it would move faster, and he wasn't wishing he would move faster. He simply allowed himself to be here. And in that stillness, he saw just how far he had come. He was no longer the anxious sloth who believed life was a race he was losing, no longer the one who feared slow growth, no longer the one who tried to force the river of becoming. He was learning to trust it. The river sage watched him silently, a soft smile in his eyes as Elias breathed without urgency. "You see," the sage whispered, "slow mastery doesn't delay your life, it deepens it. Elias looked around. The forest hadn't changed, but everything felt different. The world was no longer an opponent. The river was no longer a threat. Time was no longer the enemy. Because Elias had stopped fighting the pace of nature and started flowing with it. He climbed back into the canopy, step by slow step, carrying with him the final truth the sage had shown. You do not reach the ocean by rushing. You reach it by flowing, one gentle moment at a time. And as he settled into the branches of his tree, the sage's last teaching drifted through the leaves like a blessing. A peaceful life isn't waiting at the end of the river. It's found in how you choose to travel it. So now I ask you, as Elias once asked himself, where in your life have you been swimming too hard, when all you needed was to let the river carry you? And if you're ready to slow down, to return to your breath, to move forward with softness and intention, then you're invited to join us. Follow this channel. Become part of this thoughtful, gentle, unhurried fauna. Welcome to the Sloth's Way. Your journey starts here.